Okay, here's a look at the emini S&P for Friday, January the 13th, 2013. What we're looking at here are the market profiles, and that's what we like to use at emini Day Trader to gain a better understanding of the condition of the market. So this is what occurred today. This is what occurred yesterday, and the one in the middle is what occurred overnight. So you can see here that we did have some follow through higher last night, but not much. And then the market really started to sell off. I heard that the reason for that was that S&P was downgrading some European countries. So obviously the market took that pretty hard. By the time the RTH opened, RTH regular trading hours, which is the period of time that we like to trade, it was below the 84 area that we were looking at as potential support. And obviously that changed our outlook as far as being as bullish as we were. Knowing that a break below 84 could come down and test the 77 area, which is the next main area. So you can see here, here's a 77 area. The market did spend a little bit of time below it, but was rejected and eventually came all the way back up here and had a pretty strong close, or a very strong close right on the high of the day, right back up to what we had anticipated as a support/resistance area at 1290. So that's an area we're going to look at. We're still going to look at 84 to see if that can hold going into trade Monday evening. There will be some trade, I understand, Sunday evening and for an hour or two on Monday morning, but it's the holiday. And so real trade gets back at it Monday evening with the next regular trading hours next Tuesday, and that'll be our next video. Will be next Tuesday. We will not be doing one on Monday. So we've got a market here that I think really went down and found some pretty strong buying today, and I expect to see some follow through higher next week. Usually when it has a reaction like it did today, it might pause a little bit before it does it, but I think what we had happen today here was really quite a bullish set of circumstances. Here are the market profiles from just the regular trading hours, and we also use them, of course, in our analysis. Here's our software showing our trades for today. We actually had a number of them. Some are a little hard to see because they're kind of tucked in there, but there was a short trade here, then a long trade here, short trade here, short trade here, long trade here, another series of long trades. There was a couple short ones here, a long one here, and a couple short ones here. So let's take a quick look at which ones were valid, which ones were not. This first one was not. We were still in the neutral filter. Now we had come below that key area that we were looking at, which is around 84. You can see the market kind of stalled in that area there when it did hit it late in the day. And then the next area was down here at 77, which was interesting because this is when the market did spend a fair amount of time below it here, but could not muster up any follow through, and then came right back up to test the high of the day, test the 77 area, come back up and test that 84 area. So the trades that we ended up by taking, we did take this first trade, although most of us were reluctant to do so just because it was only minutes before the news is to be released. So even if you got the trade right, just the sheer volatility that's likely to happen when the news is released can get you stopped out. So it did move a point and a half against this trade and then move 2 points in its favor. So, the trade was okay, but this is one thing that we monitor, obviously, why we post on our overview page for our members to be careful of news announcements, and of course we post what time the news announcements are coming out. So our first real trade was this short one right here, and that worked out great. It came down very nicely, moving some little over five and three-quarter points in our favor, and obviously hitting our first two objectives with 4.5 points just on the final partial on that one. So that was about a 7-8 point trade. Then the market, there was another trade in here we did not take because the market had not yet turned on the filter. It did, however, in this one right here. So that turned out to be our second trade of the day. And it had a nice movement higher all the way up to here. We were able to stay on board until about here. So that trade worked out nicely with, I think it was a 2 3/4 point gain just on the final partial on that one. Obviously, these trades were not taken. We were in the in the green filter when both of them were taking place. These two trades we did take. These were these long trades that were triggered sometime before, and you can see the dashed blue line. In this case, or in both of these cases, it lasted. Well, I think one of them was about an hour and a half, and one was about 2 hours. So, and the reason that we were able to take it is because we knew that the 77 area was good support / resistance, and we're still in the intraday up auction, even though we were in the neutral filter. So when we're up against a barrier and we still have the intraday auction in our favor, we'll go ahead and take that trade. Actually, neither one of these trades worked out that great. I think both of them were break even. So when the market rallied up here, there was these other two. Well, first of all, this long trade we did take right here. There was a nice long trade right in here that worked out quite nicely, hitting both of our objectives. Neither one of these short trades were taken here. So we're able to take several trades today, and they worked out pretty good. So it was a surprise, obviously, that the news was released in regards to Europe, but it certainly gave us better trading opportunities than what we've otherwise been having, with some good movement in today. Today's range was about 2.5 times our average over the past 2 3 weeks. So nice to see the market have some movement like that, and hopefully we can get more of that movement come next week. So anyway, no video on Monday because of the holiday. So have a great long weekend, and we'll see you all again on Tuesday.